Hello and welcome to Level Die Flux. Ooh yeah, smooth. Hello everyone, my name is Nick, and today I'm going to be talking about Evil Dead 2013. Yes, I literally just got done watching it. It was rad, so we're going to talk about it. Before I do that though, I want to say it was my good friend Quentin's birthday yesterday, so happy birthday to him. I'd send him money, but I'm broke, so I'm going to shoot him a happy birthday on the podcast instead. He actually listens. So, happy birthday, Quentin. You're cool. You're forever cool. If there's any weird sort of cuts or, I don't know, lost trains of thought, that's because I am super sick. And I'm probably pausing to back away from the mic and hack a lung out. Just a forewarning. So, let's get into Evil Dead. I thought it was 2017, but it turns out it's 2013. Boy, does time fly when you're having fun. Terrific. So, Evil Dead this movie is a remake of one of my favorite series of all time, Evil Dead 2, and Army of Darkness. So, that's going to get annoying, isn't it? Ooh, I'm going to work on that. We'll try and cut out the sniffling. Ooh, shit. So this is a remake of, essentially, they combine the first two movies into one movie and just sort of used the concept of Evil Dead. Now, doing a remake is an opportunity to create something entirely new using an existing license. So, Ghost in the Shell, they came out with like a live action version like 2 or 3 years ago with that with Black Widow from the Marvel movies. What is her name? Well, she was playing Motoko Kusanagi in the movie, and they did a live action movie. And the story that they told was different than the OVA from the 90s. And that movie, the original one from the 90s, is probably my number one favorite movie of all time. So I watched the live action movie. There were some parts in the live action movie that shared with the original, and it was just nice. It's nice to see those things, but the story that they told was different than the original. And this Evil Dead did the exact same thing. It took the source material, which is some teenagers go to a cabin, someone reads from an evil book, some shit goes down, and everybody fucking dies. So they took that, simple, easy, like just the best fucking formula ever. Props to Raimi. They took that and they told their own story within those bounds. In this version, there is a group of friends, and one of the friends is a sister. The sister is a fucking junkie, and they're taking her up to this fucking cabin to detox her ass hard. Because apparently, last summer, fuck, that's annoying. Jesus, I'm sorry. Last summer, she fucking OD'd, literally died, and had to be brought back to life. So she's got a fucking problem. So, perfect sort of setup to get these kids to the cabin. I think in the original it was just, hey, let's go to the cabin. I would never go to a fucking cabin in the woods. Are you shitting me? Holy shit. No. So, it works, though. The way they put it all together, it's sort of the family's old cabin. There's pictures of the family members and stuff. They talk about remembering it. And we get the feeling that, it's sort of natural that these people are here. So before the people actually show up, we get this pretty sweet fucking intro of this dad like it basically there's this girl in the woods and she gets kidnapped by some hillbillies, and I'm like, I was thinking as I was watching it, like, oh shit, where the fuck is this movie going? This seems odd. And then she gets tied to a fucking a stake, basically. Yeah, burned at the stake. Yeah. Oops. So they tie this girl to this stake, and he's like, she's like, oh my God, what are you doing, Dad? Please just take me home. I love you. Please. Please don't fucking kill me, please. And he's like, you killed your mom. Do you remember that? You killed her. And I'm just like, okay, what the fuck's going on, dude? It's a pretty hard-hitting, just perfect fucking intro. So, shit, I'm sorry. Fuck, I'm really trying here. I am seriously sick as fuck. So, fuck. All right. So this is happening. She's like, oh, please, Daddy, I just want you to take me home and hold me and tell me everything is going to be okay, please. And you see this old fucking hillbilly woman going, you must burn her to set her free. And he's just fucking pours a bunch of oil on that bitch, lights her ass up. And after she's on fire, I mean, he fucking burns his daughter alive. And I'm like, holy shit, where the fuck is this movie going? And then she turns into a deadite. And she goes, I am fuck you, your daughter's not here. And she burns, and then it flashes the fucking title card, Evil Dead. Awesome. Fucking awesome. So I was in it. I mean, I was in it from second one, basically. And it is honestly a nonstop goddamn gore fest from that moment on. So the people I was talking about, they show up. They set us up for the junkie fest we're going to have. You know, they say, she tried to get out of it last time, blah, blah, blah. We need to keep her here no matter what. No matter what happens, we have to keep her here. So then we're given this, okay, no one is fucking leaving here, figuratively and physically. Sorry. So then we get sort of the beginning of the actual shit show. They go into this basement or the cellar that the cabin has. And they discover a room full of dead cats, basically. Just a bunch of cats hanging from the ceiling. And they see this. They grab a bunch of stuff. It basically flashes forward, and they have a bunch of stuff on a table that came from down there. And the most obvious thing is a rectangular-shaped, wrapped in plastic and barbed wire thing. And it goes on, and this goddamn piece of shit, I wrote, the fucking retarded teacher ignoring all the signs and literally translating it. So we are given this sort of montage of everybody like preparing food, and like, so some of the girls are like making food with like some, like one of those automatic meat cutter saws. Someone was doing some shit with like, God, what were all the fucking things? Oh, someone is like fixing a door with a nail gun. And you're just like, okay, cool. So these are all the things that someone is going to die with. Radical. So they're giving you sort of the setup of everything that's going to go on. Rad. And then it shows this dude just sitting at the book, reading it. He's just like, and there's like big words in fucking red. Don't read book. Don't talk about book. Throw the book away. Please no, God, please, God, no, please don't look at the book. And he's just like, oh, what are these words? And he just reads it. He just reads the magic words out of this fucking book. And he summons Satan. Yep. Summons a fucking demon. It's not exactly Satan, but it is a dark presence. And he summons it. And the first person possessed is the junkie. So she's standing outside and it gives you that classic Raimi camera sprinting through the woods, zipping and zopping through trees and flying towards this girl. And you're like, oh, well, she's definitely fucked. She gets possessed. Or actually, she actually tries to drive away because she starts hallucinating because that dude's fucking reads the book. She drives away, crashes into a fucking swamp. Crashes into a swamp because she pictured like a dead chick in the road, right? Like a woman. Crashes into a swamp. Manages to live. Climbs out of the swamp. Sees the fucking dead girl again, runs deeper into the forest. Runs into the forest and ends up in some bramble, some twigs and shit. And we get something that it's dark, right? Like the rest of this fucking movie. But it was something that was super controversial in the original. And something like that I don't think has really ever been done again until this movie. So basically, she falls into these bushes, and then she gets raped by a tree. Let's let that sit. Yes. So she's basically tied up and impregnated by a dark force. And I'm talking, dude, this dead chick that she's been hallucinating is real. She's physical, I guess, or I don't know, maybe semi sort of in our plane. And she vomits up this big black fucking, and I'm not even joking, like the width of my goddamn, what is this called? Wrist. The width of my wrist vomits this shit out of her mouth. And then while the junkie is tied up by the tree, this black vomited up twig snake climbs up the junkie's vagina and disappears. Yes, that, or her butthole. But it climbs up something, and I'm thinking it's her vagina. I think that's the only 2 times we've said that word on this podcast, so hopefully we don't ever say it again. So, after that, she comes back to the mansion, to the cabin. And all of her friends are freaking out. Like, dude, this junkie is fucking losing her mind. She, drove her car into a swamp, and she probably jumped into some fucking thorns on purpose because she's a junkie, and she's trying to get attention, and she's trying to get us to get her out of here. So nobody fucking believes the junkie. Nobody. And while this is happening, fucking teacher man, reader man, the man who set this curse upon these fine young people, is noticing that the events that are occurring are fucking frame for frame coming out of this fucking book. Someone is going to get raped by a tree. And the scene we get next, where she takes a shower, the junkie, she goes into the shower, and she turns up the heat to fucking boiling water. Boiling. I mean, and she just stands there, and you watch as her skin melts off of her fucking face. She's not reacting. She's just, like, standing there being boiled. And teacher reader man, I believe his name is Eric. Yes, his name is Eric. Eric is just like, oh, shit, yeah, dude, that's in the book, too. Somebody gets raped by a tree. Somebody fucking pours boiling water on themselves. Oh, boy. And so he doesn't say a fucking word to anybody until the last, 30 minutes when a lot of bad shit is happening. So, fuck that guy. I mean, he does tank, dude, Eric, the teacher, reader man, he literally shot, stabbed, smashed, and each of those, multiple times, survives it all. Insane. I mean, obviously, something happens to him, but he takes a lot of shit before his ending. So I just want to mention the junkie, the actress who played her, has a fucking great, like, creepy, wide-eyed, weird face stare. Dig it. I absolutely dig the shit out of it. It was really creepy to look at her, and I props to her. So I want to say there is a part in this movie, and that makes this movie what we're going to call not Jess safe. So that being, what does that mean? My wife's name is Jess, and she loves animals. So if there is a movie where something bad happens to an animal, like the animal fucking dies, like, say, I Am Legend, where he fucking chokes his dog out, yeah, that's not Jess safe. Well, a dog gets its fucking head smashed in with a hammer in this movie, so not Jess safe. So if you are the kind of person who doesn't like that, not for you, dog. If honestly, if you're not into blood and guts and tons of body torture and body mutilation, probably not for you, dude. This movie's probably not for you. All right, let's continue. Just want to say, this is probably one of the goriest, most bloody fucking movies I've ever seen in my life. And I've seen a lot of fucking movies. I've seen just tons of fucking movies, dude. And there are literal, like, they must have used like 1,000 gallons of fucking blood. I mean, so much fucking blood. It's fucking insane. Tons of blood. It is literally raining from the fucking sky in the end of this fucking movie. So awesome. Tons of fucking blood. Tons of people getting limbs chopped off, smashed, cut, burned. Someone cuts their own tongue in half. Someone fucking cuts their arm off. Someone rips their arm off. Someone gets their hand smashed in half. Someone fucking cuts their own face off. Okay? If any of those things make your pee-pee go soft, movie's not for you, dude. But if it makes your pee-pee hard, like it does to me, fucking great. You're into it. We're ready for it. Back to the fucking movie. So, this bitch fucking melts her own face off. Then what does she do? She fucking shoots her brother in the arm with a shotgun, tackles her friend who's trying to save her, and vomits goddamn Campbell's O's soup. What is, the soup with the little round noodles in it? Just vomits like 6 fucking cans of that on her friend. Turns out, getting vomited on can cause you to get fucking possessed. So what happens to this fucking girl that got thrown up on? She cuts her own goddamn face off. And then Dr. fucking Reader Man goes in to check on her and has to smash her goddamn skull in with a toilet lid. Not like the top part. The thing that covers the top part fucking smashes her goddamn skull in. Fucking just fucking brutalizes her. In the fight between them, the Campbell soup girl who cuts her own face off, she fucking stabs this dude in the face with a fucking needle, like right underneath his fucking eyeball, dude. I swear to God, I thought he was going to get his eye stabbed out. Just barely did he not fucking get his eye stabbed out. And then they show you, super fucking close, him pulling the fucking needle out from underneath his eye. Oh, fucking brutal, dude. Fucking brutal. It was awesome. It was fucking awesome. So they smashed that bitch's head in. They lock the sister in the cellar. And they start trying to patch up fucking Reader. They try to patch up Eric, the fucking Reader, the man who summoned the issue. Try and patch him up. And then he's like, dude, we're in a bad way. I read some shit out of a book. So, he finally admits that he fucking caused this shit. The junkie's brother is patching Eric up. and he sends his girlfriend to go get some sugar water to give him like an IV, basically, right? Well, there was a tussle, and the sugar water girl got her hand bit, and it starts fucking possessing her. So this is something that happens in the original movie. Ash, who is the main character of the original movie, gets some possession in his arm, and it goes bad. So he had to chop it off. Well, sugar water girl, she fucking uses a meat cutter, and she goddamn chops her arm off at the shoulder. Brutal. Fucking chops it right off. Just chops it off. Power goes out. They go and check on her. She's fucking leaning up against the fridge. She's like, I feel much better now. It had to go. I had to do it. And she turns to the camera, and the arm is hanging on by like a tendon, and it just goes and just slaps onto the fucking ground. This honking piece of meat falls off this fucking girl. And they're just like, and Eric, the reader, is just like, oh my God, she chopped her own fucking arm off. Who fucking does that? So this is what I'm saying, dude. They don't fuck around either. You watch this bitch cut her arm off. You watch it. It's not like super over the top. It's not like Hostel where it's just like watching someone torture someone for an hour and a half. They do it just long enough to give you that, oh, fuck, oh, shit, kind of reaction, and then they move on. But it's enough so that you watch the girl cut her tongue in half. You watch the girl cut her arm off. You see the girl fucking, like with the girl that cut her face off, you don't see her cutting her face off, but as the dude is walking into the bathroom to check on her, you hear like the sound of her fucking cutting her goddamn face off. So you just know because they lead up to it by showing the book of someone cutting their own face off. And then so you're like, oh yeah, dude, she's fucking fucked. And then she turns to the camera and she's like, and she's got fucking half her face missing. Radical. So all of that fucking shit happens. The two dudes left, Eric and the brother of the junkie, make a decision. Eric goes, there's like 3 ways we can do this shit. We can cut her ass into pieces, we can burn her alive, or we can bury her alive. Those are the only 3 ways to stop this shit from happening. If we don't stop it, a demon is going to get summoned, and we're all fucked. And he's like, I'm not going to kill my sister. Maybe she's just crazy. And he's like, what kind of fucking disease makes you fucking, I don't know, kill all your friends and shoot your brother and whatever? As they're having this conversation, Sugar Water Girl comes fucking back. All right? We think she's dead. She's not fucking dead. She's walking around with one arm. She fucking she comes back and she starts just fucking shooting people with a nail gun. Just I mean, she shoots Eric like 12 fucking times with the nail gun. Brother only gets it 3 in the leg. Eric literally gets shot in the arm 3 times, like the chest 6 times, chest a few more times, and in the hands a few more times. Fucking brother grabs the shotgun, shoots her fucking arm off, just blows her arm right off. Like right as she's like beating Eric with a crowbar, and you see like he lifts his hand up to stop her from fucking beating him to death, and the crowbar like splits his fucking hand in half. And then as she's about to deliver the killing blow, he shoots her arm off. Just shotguns her arm clean off. And she turns around, she's like, oh, Damien or something. I don't remember his fucking name. Brother, why are you hurting me? Oh, and she like falls dead on his fucking body, dude. So one of the things that the Deadites, what these possessed people are called, they're not called this in this movie. They don't ever say that word. But in the original ones, they're called Deadites. And something that the Deadites use to stop people from killing them is they sort of like play all innocent. Like they get rid of, like they use magic basically to get rid of all the scarring and stuff like that, or just change their voices back to normal instead of like, I will fucking rape your mother in hell. They go, oh, please don't kill me or don't hurt me anymore. Just like the girl in the beginning where she was like, please, daddy, just take me home. And she was like, I will fucking, your wife is in hell getting raped by demons. So their typical voice is the raped by demon voice. But when they want to, they sort of turn on that, oh, please don't kill me voice to sort of disarm humans. Works every fucking time. So, girlfriend, dead. Facelift chick, dead. The only 3 people left are Eric, the brother of the junkie, and the junkie. They make a decision. We're going to roast this bitch. We're going to fucking roast her. He goes to try and burn the house, the brother. Can't do it because she does that sweet voice on him. Sings him a lullaby from their childhood. And he goes, all right, fuck this. I'm going to bury this bitch. Goes into the shed, grabs a bunch of shit. You see like a montage, like in the original movies, of him just like prepping shit, getting ready to nuke his own sister. Goes down into the cellar, chase after his sister. It's flooded. She catches him by surprise, attacks him. He's getting his ass beat. Out of nowhere, Eric comes, fucking clocks her in the head with something, but ends up getting stabbed and dying in the process. Eric sacrifices himself. Saves the brother so the brother can complete the mission. The brother takes the sister. Buries her. Fucking is burying her. Puts a fucking bag over her head. Dresses her up in a dress. I don't know exactly why. I don't know the significance of that, but he like puts a red dress on her. Probably just to, I don't know why. But I'm assuming it's like symbolism or something I don't get, or it might be a reference that I'm not remembering. But puts her in a dress, puts that bitch in a hole in the ground. Starts burying her. She comes back to life. And she's like, oh, I can't breathe. Why are you burying me? Why do you hate me? What's happening? Please don't kill me. Every time, right? Brutal. It's brutal. Because, I mean, it's like, he's like, you're not her. You're a fucking demon. I'm going to fucking bury your ass. He's burying her. And then she just goes, I know you hate me. And I know that our mother is in hell getting fucked by demons and she hates you too. Just being fucking evil to him, right? That's what they do. They're fucking evil forces. This is what they do. He's like, fuck that. Buries that bitch. Covers her. She's dead. She fucking dies. He digs her back up. And then he jams a homemade defibrillator into her chest and juices her over and over and over again. Doesn't work. Fuck. All right. He covers her with a blanket. He says, you're at peace now. And he walks away. And we watch him walk away. And then you hear the voice. She's like, oh, brother. And he turns. He's like, oh, my God, you're alive. And I'm thinking at this moment, all right, cool. So she's still a deadite, right? She's fucking, that's going to be, like, there is literally 15 minutes left in this movie at this point. And I'm like, okay, cool. It doesn't have, like, the sister just dies, the dude just walks away ending. All right? She's still a deadite. She's going to attack him. That's going to be the ending. Fucking wrong. He goes into the house to grab the keys. He's like, all right, let's get the fuck out of here. Boom. Eric's back, and he's a fucking deadite, and he stabs the brother in the fucking neck. Stabs him in the neck with a box cutter. The brother is basically, he's dead. So he's bleeding out of his throat. He tells his sister, he's like, take the keys, get the fuck out of here, just escape. So it turns out that it worked. The strategy of burying her alive, waiting for her to die, bringing her back to life, that ended the sort of curse. So she is human. Then he tells her to go, pushes her away, pushes her out the door and says, just get the fuck out of here, save yourself. Grabs a shotgun, basically blows the house up, burns Eric and him, cabin's on fire. She's getting ready to leave. She's upset. She's heartbroken. It starts raining fucking blood from the sky. No fucking goddamn joke. This is what I meant when I said that fucking blood rains from the sky. Blood literally rains from the sky. A demon climbs out of the fucking ground. And it's said in the book that if the demon claimed enough souls, it would walk the earth again and the sky would rain blood. Sky starts fucking raining blood. She's like, what the fuck do I do? That's a goddamn demon. She runs into the shed. What does she grab? Not a machete, a fucking chainsaw. So the chainsaw is important to the Evil Dead series because Ash from the original series has a goddamn chainsaw arm. He has a chainsaw arm. After he cut his hand off in Evil Dead, he fucking slammed a chainsaw on that bitch, and he became who we know now. And hopefully he'll be in MK11 soon. Fucking quote me on that. I think he's getting in, boys. So, she grabs the chainsaw. No fuel. Grabs the fuel. Fuels it. She's fucking being chased by a blood-covered ground demon from hell who's trying to kill her. She's trying to rev it up. It's not revving up. She's getting chased. She tries to escape. The demon's fucking cutting her. She gets out of the shed where the chainsaw was at. Goes underneath the car. Try and rev the chainsaw. She sees the demon coming. She fucking gets it revved, cuts the demon's leg off, then starts to climb out the opposite side of the car as the demon. The demon lifts the fucking car up and it tips. It basically the demon tips the car over, slams onto the junkie's arm. Slams onto the junkie's arm. She's fucking pinned, right? So what does she do? She doesn't puss out. She goddamn rips her own hand off. She just you watch the tendons and shit, muscles ripping from underneath this Jeep. She rips her own hand off, and she stands there. She walks away, and she's holding a chainsaw. And the demon's like crawling towards her. I will eat your soul. I will eat your soul. I will feast on your soul. You fucking junkie bitch. And what does she do? She does the most Evil Dead shit ever. She uses her stub to hold up the chainsaw. She fucking revs it with the other hand and just jams that shit into that bitch's fucking face. Just jams it into her fucking face. Oh, fuck. So, the demon fucking dies because it had its goddamn head cut in half by a chainsaw. It evaporates it into hell. Well, it like sort of melts into the ground. And, well, the movie's fucking over. So basically, it was a nonstop action gore fest. It ends with the only person that survives being the junkie and the first person who was possessed. All of her friends and brother are dead. Everyone goes through a fucked up time trying to save her ass. All dead. And it's just over. You know? But I gotta say, when this movie came out, I didn't really want to see it. I didn't think that I was going to enjoy it. I thought that, I was like, it can't be as good as the originals. And I'm like that for a lot of stuff. Well, it was different than the originals. And I think that a lot of people, I read a bunch of reviews after I watched it because I wanted to see what other people thought. And they're like, the other ones were like more comical. Like there was better jokes, jokes. And this one didn't have any jokes. Stupid. Well, it was trying to be different. It took what it wanted from the Evil Dead series. And the Evil Dead is full of body mutilation, blood, people killing their family members, and brutal shit. There's also a bunch of fucking campy jokes and bullshit in it. I mean, it's hilarious. The Evil Dead 2 is fucking hilarious. But it chose to go for a more straight line, splatterhouse type approach. There aren't really any jokes. There's no hero like Ash Williams. It's just sort of people. There's like heroes in the moment in this one. In Evil Dead 1, 2, and Army of Darkness, Ash is the clear sort of good versus bad good guy who's going to win in the end. And I honestly didn't think. I thought for sure it was going to fucking be Eric. Like, somehow I thought it was going to be him who survives all this. So I didn't know who was going to win or who was going to lose. And I like that. It didn't need to be funny. It wasn't trying to be. It was trying to pay homage, and it pays homage in a ton of ways. I mean, the montage, there was like a necklace that was in the first movie. They did the chainsaw, obviously. They made references to The Exorcism at least twice. There's probably more, but I have actually never seen The Exorcism. There was some peeing down the leg, and there was is getting raped in hell. But it sucks cocks in hell is what... Sucks dicks in hell, I think is what she says in The Exorcism. So, I mean, he was just paying homage to these horror movies, and definitely paying homage to Evil Dead. And I think it used the source material really well. I mean, it's not hard source material. It's a bunch of teens in a cabin getting fucked up by demons. But, like, putting the tree rape in, I think most people probably wouldn't have included that. They put it in because it was one of the most shocking scenes in Evil Dead. And, honestly, at the time, and up to this point, it's still probably one of the most shocking scenes in film. It's pretty brutal, dude. Watch Evil Dead 1 and 2. Well, watch Evil Dead 1 for that tree rape scene. It's nuts. But it doesn't need to be exactly like the old movie. And I think people don't get that. When you make a movie again, like I just saw on my phone, I don't know where, that Shrek is getting a remake with the same voice actors. So what the fuck is that? If that's real, everybody's coming back and they're just going to like retell the first movie again, why the fuck are they doing that? If they're making another movie, great. But if they're, I don't know, that's just not smart. When you set out to make a remake, you take the source material and you spin it in your own way as a creative mind. And hopefully it goes over well. It probably won't because people fanboy too hard over things. I mean, I have been known to do it. I'm not guilt-free in that. But I am literally a die-hard fan of the Evil Dead series. So much to the point that stupid little skull logo I made is half-assedly trying to be the Evil Dead 2 skull. I'm just not good enough with computers, computer editing and image editing and shit to make a really good one. If I could, I would just have the goddamn Evil Dead skull be the logo for my fucking podcast. Obviously, that's never going to happen. But I can, be inspired by it and do something else like it. Pay homage. People who see it get it. I watched this movie. I'm hoping I caught just about every single fucking Evil Dead series reference because I was like waiting to see it. I was like, where's the chainsaw? Okay, she's going to cut her hand off. I mean, I was just waiting. I was just like beat by beat. I was like, yeah, we're getting it. They're doing it. And it was great. They really did a good job remaking this movie. And they did it in a respectful way. Not like, fuck you, source material. They used it, changed it, made it their own. So, Congratulations to them. It was fucking awesome. I loved it. I loved all the blood. I loved all the gore. I loved the killing. I loved the story. Yeah, I mean, I liked the reason they were there. I liked how it played out. The characters, in 15 minutes when I'm done with this podcast, I won't remember a single fucking character from that movie, except the junkie, probably, and Eric, because he caused all of it. Everyone else, I don't give a shit about any of them. And that's a negative, obviously. Characters, not very memorable. But other than that, who gives a shit? It's a horror movie, dude. Everybody fucking dies anyway, you know? There's not going to be a fucking sequel, and everybody's dead. So it doesn't really matter if the characters are likable or memorable or not anyway, because they're fucking dead. So, I mean, I don't really remember anybody from Evil Dead 1 or 2 either. So that's just the way that it is. I mean, if everybody dies except for one fucking person, that's the person you're going to remember. But I don't really know how to rate this movie. I don't want to do like a fucking 0 to 10 rating. So I'm just going to say that I enjoyed it. And if you're not turned off by blood, gore, killing, and animal killing, watch it. It's pretty fucking good, dude. I'm gonna need to watch some fucking cartoons to quiet my brain. It's certainly not a movie I'd watch right before bed. It's not a nighttime movie. Holy shit, I watched it while the sun was still out, thank the Lord. I get scared. The 2 Fluxes we've done on this channel so far, excluding this one of them was a horror movie, and one of them was a TV show, and now I'm doing another horror movie. I promise that Flux isn't just horror movies. There are just like a few horror movies that I really dig, and this one came on TV, so I had to watch it for the first time and then do a podcast on it while it's fresh. So, yeah, man, Evil Dead 2013, a pretty fucking good romp. Well enough, you know, it used the Evil Dead name well, and it played with everything perfectly. Thanks for listening. It's always a pleasure. I'm sorry for all the sniffling, and if there's any weird cuts in there, my bad. My throat and my voice is so fucked up right now. I hope it doesn't come through on the mic. Thank you for watching. Listening, fuck. Thank you for listening. Thanks for supporting Level Die. I really love doing this podcast, so I appreciate anybody who watches. If you want to leave a comment, if you want to give me some feedback, drop something down in the comments. I will read it. I will get a notification from it, and I will read it, and I will converse with you. If you want to have a conversation with me, I'll have one with you. It would be terrific to hear from anyone who actually listens to this podcast. And that's it. Thank you, and we'll see you next week for another one. I think it's just going to be a normal game episode. Have a good one. Have a nice weekend. Simply be despair.